In this video, you'll learn about for loops and how they're used to make code more efficient. There are times when you'll need to repeat a set of actions, like iterating over a section of code or generating several of the same kind of objects. The common way to accomplish this is with a for loop. Lua provides two types of for loops, indexed and key value pairs. Let's look at the indexed version first. The format looks like this: for I equals start, comma stop, do, and then end. The actions that you want to perform will go between for and end. In this example, we are creating an index variable called I that will be used to index your array. The use of I is an old programming standard that goes back to the days when programming languages only had one-letter variable names, and I stands for index. However, you can name this variable whatever makes sense for your program. The parameters on the right side of the equal sign represent where you want the loop to start indexing, and the second parameter is where you want to stop. So for example, for I equals 1, comma, 10, do, print I, end. This for loop will print 1 through 10 on separate lines. However, you don't always have to increment by 1. You can do for I equals 1, comma, 10, comma, 2, do, print I, end. In this case, you will get 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 printed. The first time through the loop, I will be 1. The second time through, 2 is added to the index, making I now equal to 3. Once I is greater than or equal to the stop value, which is 10 in this case, the loop ends. Your loops also don't have to count upwards. If your increment value is negative, the loop will count backwards. For example, I equals 10, comma 1, comma, negative 1, do, print I, end. This will cause 10 through 1 to be printed backwards on separate lines. There is one gotcha that you need to be aware of. If you've worked with loops in other languages, the index variable is local to the loop. Let's look at an example. In C, if we write for loop code like this and print the output to the screen, then the printed output will be 10 because the value for I ended at 10. In Lua, if we write similar code, this will print 100. This will sometimes create issues for people coming to Lua from other languages. Because we sometimes need to loop through data that is not numerically indexed, but indexed with words, we can also use the for loop to run through the various entries. Let's look at a simple table example. We'll talk about tables in more detail in a later video, but for now we'll create a simple table called myTable, and we'll add a few values to the keys: first name, last name, city, and age. Then we'll loop through the table to output those values. This example prints first name Fred, last name Flintstone, city Bedrock, age 42. In this case, the order that items print in are not guaranteed because tables indexed by names or keys are hashed. This means they automatically have index values assigned to them. We'll talk more about how to deal with table data in later videos. And that's a look at how to work with for loops in Lua and Corona SDK. Learn more about for loops in Dr. Brian Burton's book, Learning Mobile Applications and Game Development with Corona SDK, available from www.burtonsmediagroup.com/books.